The government has promised an announcement this year on the controversial issue of cancer funding. It remains under fire for its decision not to fund 13 specific cancer drugs in its first budget, despite pledging to do so during last year's election campaign.
The Finance Minister is promising an update, in her words, soon. But one cancer sufferer has told us that soon is not good enough. Here's political reporter Amelia Wade.
Stage 4 lung cancer sufferer Teresa Zame is furious.
Osimertinib was the first medication on their list that they promised to fund, and that's the medication that I desperately need.
Last year she met with National MP Matt Ducey. He's now an Associate Minister of Health.
He told me that they were going to promise to have the medications funded, the 13 medications from the Cancer Gap, if they were elected into government.
Here, in black and white in the National Party's policy, the funding was meant to start this year.
To promise something like that for so many desperate and vulnerable people and to just not keep their promise is shameful.
Is that not a broken promise?
No, because we're going to deliver on those drugs.
It is a completely broken promise.
Nicola Willis says the issue is twofold. One is cash.
The additional funding that we had to put into Pharmac was needed, it turned out, just to stand still. In order to keep essential medicines funded, we had to put in hundreds of millions of dollars more than we had thought we would have to prior to the election.
And how to get around Aotearoa's independent drug buying agency, Pharmac.
There is some complexity to both how those medicines are approved, how they are procured, and the order in which that happens.
It's not as if they didn't have time to get this ready. They had the whole election campaign to figure it out, cost it out, and it's not as if they haven't been able to put through some parts of their policy that obviously seem to be more important to them in the end.
The Finance Minister is refusing to give desperate Kiwis a date, just that there'll be an update this year.
I can give them certainty that we will be making that announcement shortly.
What is that answer? What is the time frame? Will it just be another broken promise?
The Prime Minister is asking Kiwis for their understanding.
I get it, I really understand it, and I understand people's frustration about it. But if you can just give us a little bit of time.
People don't have a lot of time on their side when they're diagnosed with cancer.
A promise that you'll know soon, not good enough for cancer sufferers for whom every single day counts.
Well, Amelia joins us now. Kia ora, Amelia. So we know this was a key plank of elections campaign. They haven't delivered on this. What's happened? Why have they not been able to?
Yeah, the government is coming under major pressure on this. Here at Newshub, we've been flooded with dozens of emails on the issue, and 15 cancer organisations have today written to ministers urging them to make good on their promise. But I've spoken to a former health minister, and they say National should never have promised this in the first place because it has the potential to completely disrupt the whole system. Because essentially when you name 13 drugs, it shows your hand and allows drug companies to milk it, and means that you cannot get a good deal for Kiwis. And National knew or should have known how vexed this issue is. In 2008, they came into government promising to fund Herceptin, and then when they came under pressure to fund Keytruda, admitted it was a mistake to override Pharmac. And the headaches for them don't stop there, because there's likely discomfort within their coalition partners. If you look at ACT's manifesto, they said that they specifically wanted to end politically motivated funding, so they're likely seeing some tension there too.
Amelia, tēnā koe.